Welcome once again, everybody, to Blockbuster Mentality. I'm your host, Ben. How's everybody doing? Hey, before we get started, make sure you're subscribed to us on iTunes, rate and review us, give us that 5-star review. Helps us out a lot. We've been climbing those charts, so continue to help us to do so. Got another fun episode for you fine folks. Had a lot of fun talking with Anders Holm from Workaholics. He has a new show out called Inventing Anna, starring Julia Garner. And be sure to check that out on Netflix. We talk about that. Make sure to check out his podcast with all the other workaholic dudes called This Is Important. You can get that wherever you find podcasts. But yeah, we had a blast speaking with him. Me and Dave did on Robocop. That's right, Robocop. And it wasn't it was a great time talking with him, but it wasn't as we got deeper into the movie than I thought we would. It's a deeper movie than you would think, and I really appreciate when that happens. I think it's just going to be we're just going to quote the movie a little, talk about the funny things that happen, but Anders gets a little deeper than that and talks about why it's, one of his favorite films. And again, always enjoy when that happens, when we get into the analysis of a film. But yeah, it was awesome talking with him, and hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Here is our conversation with Anders Holm. I saw you were at the Super Bowl. Was that your first time?
Second Super Bowl. I went to Super Bowl in whatever year the Broncos got fucking destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
It was in New York. Maybe it was like
Seattle. There was against Seattle. I know that. Yeah.
2011. I think it was after 2009, but like around there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was brutal. Yeah. What were you rooting for, the Broncos or?
No. It was me and the Workaholics dudes. We got a job unlike any other job we've ever had since. Bud Light parked a cruise ship, like just off the port of Manhattan, wherever you park a cruise ship there, and used it as a hotel for the Super Bowl, right? So you could stay on there, drink unlimited Bud Light, and there was various like entertainment. And me and the dudes performing live was one of the entertainments. Obviously, that's a horrible idea because you're in New York City. And so if you're visiting from Omaha or fucking Albuquerque or wherever, you want to go see New York City. You don't want to stay on the Bud Light cruise. So for real, we performed in a an auditorium that seats probably 1,000 or 1,500 people.
Yeah.
We did 2 shows. The first show had maybe 24 people.
Oh, man.
The second show had like 9, including my brother.
Yeah. So you got a couple pity laughs at least, I'm sure.
I don't even know, man. But Dave Keckner, he rolled in.
Nice. Yeah,
and did a little performance with us out of nowhere. He was like, what's going on in here? And just rolled in and got on stage. We're like, thank God.
Yeah.
Well, at least you had plenty of Bud Light.
Yeah. Oh my God. And the Bud Light did not stop. Just everywhere you went, buckets of those metal bottles, the blue ones.
Yeah. I see. It was in 2014. So this is kind of almost like peak Workaholics. I'm surprised we're maybe almost peak.
I'm surprised anyone was interested in hiring you guys.
We were peaking. We were peaking.
We were peaking. Yeah, it was 2014, February 2nd. Look at that. We're talking 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I know.
It was freezing cold. I had my fucking biggest jacket on, and the game was just a heartbreaker because I think right out the bat, it was like a touchback or some football thing. And
it was a safety. It was
safety.
It was a bad snap, and it was.
And it was downhill from there. And at first, it was like, well, we might have a game. There could be a comeback. And then you just looked at all the Broncos people and were like, you should go.
Yeah, just get out of here.
This does not end well.
Oh man, but that's no. I mean, that's at least the unlimited Bud Lights. That's that's the story you can take away from that. I think.
Yeah.
What brought you there this year? You on your own, or was it another event type thing?
Some homies invited me to crash a box, and I said, "Yeah, we could do that."
Yeah, I'll be there. Well, yeah. I mean, it seemed like everyone in LA was there.
I mean, it's hilarious. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, they're just.
But when someone's like, "Well, I'm gonna go to the Super Bowl," everyone goes, "Oh yeah, me too," and they just do their best to be like, "I'm here, click."
Yeah. So was the sound? I keep seeing on Twitter everywhere that the sound for the halftime show was terrible. Was it, or you were in the awesome seats probably, so
who cares? I'm not saying who cares about the answer to your question, but
no, I know. Yeah, it's
you're at the Super Bowl.
Exactly. I saw like people post clips of it. It's like still sounds like it's still fine. Like
it was
still
fine.
You're at the Super Bowl. Quit complaining.
I will say I did rewatch the halftime show on YouTube to just be like, well, because I'm like on a box back far. I wanted to see 50 Cent up close, unfurling from the ceiling.
That, oh my God, there were so many.
Because it's designed
memes
for TV at this point.
Right, exactly. I mean, anything really like a concert in a giant stadium like that is never going to sound good. I mean, it's got to be it's not set up for it, not the acoustics.
You're there to drink and say you went to the Super Bowl. So, and then people were like, giving a Snoop shit for smoking a joint before his performance. It's like, it's Snoop Dogg.
What do you expect?
Right. Yeah, what?
Right.
Yeah. So
I'd be curious, Anders, how aware are you, or how much do you care about being visible? Letting people know, like you were saying, everyone was like, I'm here, this is my Instagram shot. I bet you at some level you kind of have to play that game a little bit, right?
I was there, I took video, I forgot to post. Like, I'm not that young. It's just not my first thing. I don't like if look, I'll put it this way, no one's listening yet. Are they listening yet?
No
one listens ever. So
but like basically, if people are truly dying to see what my life is like, let me know. But like, if I'm skiing, if I'm traveling somewhere fantastic, if I'm at the Super Bowl or a concert, like, I think everyone's gonna be fine if they don't know I'm doing that, or maybe they do want it. They're like, we just want to know, make sure you're doing good, man. Like, they're like, I don't know if they like seeing, like, if they, buy our movies or whatever. If they like seeing where that money's going. If they're like, yo, tweet me a picture of your car. I bought a fucking DVD. What are you pushing?
Right.
I don't know what it is, but like,
yeah,
I play the game a little bit, but I really have to remember to be like, oh, I should do that.
Yeah. Well,
I should take a picture with that person just a little bit more famous than me to let everyone know I'm on that level.
I'm still doing it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Because the only reason I knew you went to the Super Bowl is because I think you retweeted something. You were like being like a broadcast dude, and
that was
fun.
A funny thing I was doing for my buddies.
Yeah.
Who, these crypto psychos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you into that crypto NFT shit?
A little bit. I have some friends who started a coin, so I helped get it started.
Yeah, gotcha. So,
but I don't like trade a bunch and all that. I just kind of was like, okay, I'll give you guys a shot.
Do you want to talk inventing? Is it Anna? Anna. Is that what you're here to promote?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I've got the 6 step.
Oh, that's why. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. That's I thought you just were a big Netflix guy and
just a fan.
Whatever. I know it's
gotta try the app on your phone.
We'll see. It's still, I'm still getting DVDs in the mail, so
I was until like 9 months ago because they have stuff that you just can't find anywhere.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's ways if you want to, be a bad boy.
Well, that just hurts the creators, Ben.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, there's ways. I'm just saying.
There are.
That's all I'm saying.
It's always ways.
Exactly. So what tell us about inventing Anna? I know it's Anders, but is it Anna or Anna?
Anna. It's inventing Anna. By the way,
I did great research, as you can tell.
More confusing is that my co-star Anna Klumsky is not the Anna. She's Vivian on the show. It was a whole thing. But yeah, so this is a true story about this woman a few years ago in New York, like 24, 25. She's walking around telling everyone she's this heiress who's about to get all this money from her dad when she turns 25 or 26. And she wants to start this high-end social club. So she's trying to get all these people to lend her money to get the ball rolling, millions of dollars to get the ball rolling, so that she can kind of just like get ahead of everybody else who might want to do the same thing. And then when she gets her windfall, she'll take care of the rest. And everyone's like, okay, well, she walks the walk, she talks the talk. And people started buying in. And turns out she was just shopping and living in hotels and like buying her friend shit and traveling. And it's truly amazing.
Yeah, it seems like an insane story, and then obviously it has the great Julia Garner, Ozark, from Ozark fame.
Yeah.
Who's your character? Where do you play in all of this?
So the story is about this investigative journalist who's trying to get to the bottom of who Anna Delvey, this con artist, is. And I play the investigative journalist's husband. That's my joke.
Okay.
You thought I was going to say, I play the investigative journalist.
I like that. And he caught me. Like I was like, he's just going through a spiel right now, so I can, I'm kind of actively listening, and then we're
trying to be deferential. And
you play your husband. That's a great role, man. But so you're the investigative journalist.
Husband. Yeah.
Right.
And
we're a movie show, so apologies for our interview skills, but
sure.
Yeah.
But it was great because Anna Klumsky plays this investigative journalist, period. And she's like this frenetic, she really dives into the work and is hyper committed to what she's trying to do. And she really wants to be a good journalist. And I'm at home and she's pregnant, like fully. And I'm at home being like, okay, but when are we going to wind down for like the baby and like the way our family's going to change and like what this is going to look like forward. And, it's a story that a lot of women deal with who are very committed to work, who know that they're going to be carrying this child. They're going to be feeding this child, taking care of this child with their husband. But like the paradigm shift of who they are, what the focus is, how people see them when that happens. So we kind of go through that together.
Love it.
So it's like the side story, the main story of the investigative journalist in this as she's pursuing these facts and she's unfolding this mystery.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Do you have scenes with Julia?
No, I only got to kick it with her at the table reads. So
okay.
I got to see it all, the character and everything. She would do the table reads in the accent, which is like half German, half Russian, all English.
Yeah.
Which it's a crazy trifecta. But got to work with everybody, but I didn't get to film with everybody.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. Definitely it was intriguing, but somehow I missed in the trailer that it was based on a true story, which is even more insane.
It's wild. She lived with the Firefest guy.
Is that another joke or
no?
Okay.
She lived. This crazy con artist person lived with the Firefest guy. Like they found each other, and you got to know. You're like, did they whisper sweet nothings to each other about like, how's your scam going? This is my scam, or did they just kind of look at each other like,
wow.
Yeah, no, things are going great. I'm doing fine too. What about you? I'm fine. I'm doing great.
Right.
My business,
is he in jail now?
My business that's on the up and up is totally good. Yeah, he's in jail. I mean, they both went to jail.
Yeah. That's insane, man. Because
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I assume this took place years and years ago. So obviously, if she was with the fire guy, this was fairly recent, which is insane. Are you a guy who like will ask your co-stars about previous work they were in? Like, did you ask Anna about My Girl?
I'm a guy who likes to ask his co-stars about their previous work. Of course. I just did a movie with Kim Cattrall, and on day 2, I was like, so we're going to be talking a lot about Big Trouble in Little China, just so you know. And she was so game. But yeah, we talked a little bit about My Girl.
Yeah.
Which she can't shake. It's like such a seminal film for people our age. And it's a movie much like Stand By Me that kind of treats the young viewers as adults, and it's like, hey man, it's time to talk about death, and you're like, whoa, okay, yeah, I'm ready. I'm 9, but I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's another interesting thing.
And Macaulay Culkin is in it, so it's he's a star, and people want Macaulay stories.
He needs his glasses. He needs his glasses.
I'd like to hear those.
Right.
Yeah.
That movie rips. I played it for my kids, who at the time were 7 and 3. And they loved it. And now whenever my wife and we kiss, they shout bingo, which was like a thing from the movie when she didn't want them to kiss at the bingo game. Yeah. She was like, bingo. And then they were like, what? So yeah, great movie. And she's cool. She's the best. She's so good. Anna Klumsky, she just is like fully immersed in this character. Not like method, but just like copious notes, which is the word you always say about notes when there's a lot of them. Copious notes about how pregnant she is in this scene, like, and the size of the belly that she should be having, and like her posture, and like, just fully committed. And I'm in pajamas, like stirring noodles, like, hey, how was work? But
why aren't you spending time with me? Quit your stupid investigative journalism.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Is that? You had said, she can't really get away from, My Girl. Is that something for you with Workaholics, like that you kind of are like trying to separate yourself from, or you just?
I said that I wouldn't talk about it. They're talking about it.
Oh, so I forgot we had a Kardashian on.
My team is off to the side here, and I'm gonna ream them later.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't?
Of course, I can't shake Workaholics. It's the thing that like I'm mostly known for, unless you saw the Mindy Project. There's two different worlds there, but yeah, I mean, and it's my name. Like Durs is like my neighborhood around the way name. So like today at the gas station, I was going to pick up my folks from the airport, and I hit the gas station, and I'm pumping gas, and this guy's like, "What's up, Durs?" And I'm like,
do you know me from the show, or did we actually meet? And
that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, I bet.
You can tell.
Yeah, I'm sure. And to sort of segue from that, you had written one of the episodes you wrote was the 80s trivia, movie trivia episode.
I believe you.
You're credited for
sometimes
for writing
you throw a name on these things. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a collaborative effort, and it's not no I in team.
I wrote most of them though, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. But 80s movies. So I take it you're a big 80s movie nut.
I think the joke about that is that I'm the only one who knew anything about the 80s out of all of us, because I'm 3 years older than the dudes. I'm a youngest, so I have older brothers that like gave me they introduced me to Robocop. We'll talk about it later, and all these older movies and music, and they're the oldest in their family. Yeah. They're the oldest kid, and they're younger than me. And they're like, I don't know anything about John fucking Hughes, which just like blows my mind.
Well, it's funny too, yeah, because they like call you an old man in the show, and you like play like a 25-year-old. It's like you're so old. Durs knows all this stuff because he's so old.
Always older.
My wife's a couple years younger than me, and because it reminds me of the Super Bowl, because Dr. Dre played a little thing from a Blackstreet song, and I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that in forever. I think it was "Don't Leave Me," just before he did.
That wasn't from a Tupac. That wasn't a shout out to Tupac.
They did a Tupac one, but he played.
They might have both sampled the same song.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I'm like, oh, what is that? Because it was just like for 10 seconds on the piano. I'm like,
Right.
oh, I know
Right.
that song, and it like brought me back to like, yeah, exactly.
You guys just got charged for that sample. But yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
But like, my wife didn't know
you're
that
bobbing
song.
your head, and she's like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yeah, what is that? I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, I played this like a billion times when I was younger,
Right.
and that is no reference for her because it's just like that period of her life was just a little bit past it when it wasn't a thing anymore.
Yeah, the joke after the Super Bowl of like people of a certain age being like, finally, like no more Rolling Stones and Bruce Springsteen, and young people being like, yo, this is music for old people.
You're
Yeah.
old.
Who are these guys? Who?
But Kendrick was out there. He's the
Yeah, he
connective
was-
tissue to the Island Boys or whoever the fuck they want to rep.
Exactly. Well, I mean, Snoop. I mean, he's like, I think I read he's like 55 now, and Dre's got to be.
They got great.
Yeah.
They got great in their beards.
Snoop is 55. I'm looking it up right now. Again,
I think he's
just,
52. I think he's
all right,
52.
let's see. Snoop Dogg age. Oh, why did I say 55? He's 50. All right.
50. Yeah, 50. He's,
Yeah. Oh, Dre is 56.
Yes. I mean,
So-
Dre, because this is what's so crazy. Snoop, you're like, okay, Snoop was rapping when I was, I guess, in middle school.
Yeah.
But like, Dre had a whole career when I was like in kindergarten.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, even before NWA, this dude's running around in silk suits, like with like a doctor's mask on, you know, like mixing disco and shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
and then-
he's been around even like when when in the rap for Forgot About Dre, he's talking about he's been doing it for 10 or 15 years. Then
yeah, that was like in 99. Like,
right. 10
old
years
in the
10 years in
game
the rap game, I've been doing it. You're like,
He's like
What'd you think?
he's not even the godfather. He's like the great grandfather.
yeah,
I mean, but
seriously.
think about it. Found Snoop, you know, like discovered, whatever the word you want to use, like Snoop, Eminem,
Yeah.
Kendrick. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is a little bit of talent right there. Yeah, Eminem's 49. Holy shit.
He looks great.
yeah,
does.
he you know, I love him. So Detroit what?
Oh yeah,
Detroit
I see,
what?
see that.
Yeah,
D12,
you know.
D12.
You know, it's whatever.
So wait, you were wearing Detroit hat, but you have a Tampa Bay Lightning shirt on?
Yeah.
Were you just working? Were you just working out or something? Like what's going on?
I usually match it up, but I was gonna throw on my Detroit hoodie. I didn't.
By the way, not that you have to match. I'm just wondering if there's
I mainly wore. I was gonna wear a Lightning hat, but then I wore this because of Robocop, because Detroit. But I am from Detroit.
Okay,
live
great.
in Tampa now, so that's
the
that
short answer.
connection.
By the way, I'm like, yo, you lead with that. Grew up in Detroit, live in Tampa.
well, you were asking about the
I wasn't-
mismatch, bro. Like
No.
you know, so you know, I had to.
I'm so sorry.
no, I'm just very sensitive. Like,
What
I'm
are
very
you wearing on the
insecure.
shorts?
You're not gonna believe this. Colorado Rockies.
No, what's that?
I swear.
His favorite place to ski, man.
I don't know.
What the hell is that?
Random.
Dude.
Look at that.
It's the weirdest thing in the world.
You're out of your mind.
I know. So, you know, usually it's a Cubs sweat shorts, but
Yeah.
Well, I'm wearing a
and-
fictional AFC
Yeah.
Richmond.
Yeah,
t-shirt.
Ted
Yeah. What is
Lasso.
that? What's your jersey there?
It's from the Ted Lasso show. They sell merch, and so
Oh, sick.
I
Nice.
guess I'm a sucker as a fan.
Yeah,
Went to the
yeah.
merch store, picked up a shirt.
What-
Have you seen that show?
Lasso?
Yeah, Ted Lasso.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I mean, how do you not
that's-
recognize the shirt?
That's convincing. He's yeah.
He loves it.
I saw
Loves Jason Sudeikis in it.
I love them. I watched season 1, and then I just haven't checked out season 2 yet. But I'm for sure just ready to rock that merch.
Just,
Yeah.
he loves
for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 80s movies.
Football's life. Football's life.
Football is life. You
That's
said
my
sports.
my big favorite takeaway from season 1 is football's life. That guy's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't say. Are you much of a sports guy? Because see, you said something. You know, so sports stuff happened in the Super Bowl.
I don't know. I don't know the rules, but what I do is
I see. You're like me. With I didn't know how to answer your question. Like I'm repping this, and
I feel like
you know,
I'm
got
answering
all-
your question pretty good.
No, you're great.
I don't know rules to sports, but like I appreciate athleticism and execution. Like when I see, like I watch playoffs, right? When the stakes
Right.
are high and when
Yeah.
people are executing, it's amazing. I love the Olympics. I'll watch anything where people are at the height of that competition.
Yeah.
I watch like frisbee golf sometimes on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's just sick.
That was a terrific answer, by the way. I thought you were meant like, I don't know the rules, like societal rules about liking sports. Like, can I say I don't like sports when I don't like sports? But
I do know the societal rules. I know all of them. Yeah, I just like, I don't like touchback and like I don't know all that stuff. I know what a face mask is.
That was easy enough to figure out.
When they grab the face mask, I know that's a face mask.
And you know what a physical face mask is as well. Like not only the penalty, you also know what a face mask is.
Right. Based on what a mask is and a face and that
you put them together and it's kind of
my whole background, just like on Workaholics, I swam in college, which is arguably a debatable sport, but like I've seen people who can do amazing things. I have appreciation for it. So like, just watching people kill it, like Lance Armstrong, drugs or no drugs, whatever. I don't care. That dude was a beast and had people watching cycling.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you look at golf. I mean, Tiger Woods got people,
unbelievable
watching golf, and so it's all about the competition. I totally see you there because I'm mainly a just playoff guy.
Simone Biles, like watching her do vault, I'm like,
exactly.
Whoa,
I hear you.
That's I like watching sports, and but I just don't have a dog in any fight. I grew up outside Chicago, but like I don't truly care. I care about each team about as much as the people playing on the team who are like, I got traded yesterday to Detroit and now I'm over here and I'm a Tiger. So how invested are you really going to be in those teams?
I think Seinfeld had that joke, didn't he? About you're just cheering for a uniform.
Right. You're cheering for clothing with a certain letter on it and an animal or person.
Well, the Lions pissed me off so much this year that I was just like, why am I rooting for them? Like, why? Just because I was born in Detroit and I don't live there anymore. Like, my dad still roots for them, but like, what's in it for me at this point? Like,
time to burn the hat.
It's just a team,
Yeah, you're rooting just in case they're good again.
Yes, and then I can say I was with them all along.
Like in Chicago with the Cubs for a very long time, it became just kind of like, you just root and drink beer and that's what it is. It's no longer truly about paying attention to the baseballness of it. Like they're just going to be dog shit. And then suddenly they're pretty good and everyone's like getting out their scorecards again.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not even sure how long we have with you, but I'm just saying, we should probably talk about the movie. I apologize. How long do we have another half hour?
Yeah, we can go another 30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. 80s movies. We have people, celebrities on the show to come in, discuss the, David, just stop it. Stop it.
Well, let's reset.
I don't know. He's laughing. No,
he's thinking of an episode of Ted Lasso.
Yeah, exactly. He's Jesus Christ. Anyway, we have people that come on and talk about movies. So here we go.
We talked about Dr. Dre for 10 minutes.
I feel like he deserves it. It's fine.
He does.
By the way, I still have no voice from the Super Bowl, which is I've been calling it. I don't have COVID. I have Rams fever.
I was because I was wondering. I was like, all right, he's more laid back than I thought he was. He's kind of talking quiet and
a cool jazz voice.
Yeah, it's like, oh, all right, this is intimate. I like it. I'm
a drunk who was shouting, is what.
Yeah. It is. 80s movies. You're a big 80s movies guy. It seems like.
That was the foundation. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up in the era of VHS. It did a lot of damage. Had older brothers, parents weren't around. Just watched a ton of movies.
Did you come to this one early in life?
Robocop?
Yeah. Was this the one that you watched way too early?
Yeah. I saw Robocop when I was, I guess, 8 or 9.
I think I did too.
Like, as soon as it came out on video, I saw it. And
wow. Yeah, that's
just ultra violence seared into my memory. And despicable characters.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the maximum most unlikable characters in movie. Like anyway,
It's amazing how the asshole level of everyone is like turned up as high as possible.
There's no loyalty. Like the cop, the police chief is mean to his guys. The bad guy, Kurtwood.
He's like, "Look here, asshole." You're like, "Whoa, that's your like lieutenant sergeant or something." I don't know.
Now, why out of all the '80s movies did you pick this movie? Or just out of all the movies?
Well, let me say this: the other movies I thought I wanted to pick were Stand by Me, which I just watched. I don't know, like a month ago, and was just like, this is the fucking best movie ever. But like someone smarter or like more like serious or eloquent can go on about that one. And then I was like, what about the John Hughes Vault? What about like Uncle Buck, which I think is my favorite John Hughes movie?
Ooh.
It's just a little more even keel.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, dude. I have a list of 10 movies that I watch. I try and watch every year. And this was the one that I thought would be the most me to talk about.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
It's and first of all, I mean, it doesn't take itself serious. I mean, I don't think it's an 80s movie that is, trying to go ahead.
So I watched it last night again. And here's what's crazy is that it is a satire. But when I was 8, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right? There's like a whole there's a whole blurb in the beginning where you're watching the news of Detroit in this year, and they're kind of catching you up, and the news is preposterous. It's insane. And like, it kind of sets the bar for like, okay, so things are going to be tongue in cheek here. But when you're 8 or 9, you take that as real. And then you come back to it at 25 or something and you go, oh no, okay. I get it now.
Yeah.
It's a satire. But then you come back to it now and you're like, this is not far off where we really are. How much of a joke is this? How much were they not taking it seriously? Because the company that takes over the police force, they're like, yeah, we took over the jails and the hospitals and we're making a ton of dough. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah, there's so much here. Yeah, now that you watch it in 2022, it's like, wow, yeah, this it's like that movie everyone always goes back to it, but Idiocracy. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah,
crazy.
It's just like when it came out, it was
I think I have a can of Brondo somewhere in my house.
Oh, really?
Man. That I've never opened. But it totally predicted the future. And then also with just like where we are with police violence in this day and age and profiling and that kind of thing. I'm like, do we give a shot to robots? Like, should we try it out?
It's like
are robots inherently prejudiced in certain ways dependent on like the programmer? Like, is that a whole fucking movie I just gave away?
Right, but you gotta watch out for the glitches, the little glitch, like
call that the glitch.
ED-209 is the robot they introduced that will, start to take over the police force and be our, protect against the crime and all that. And that's one of the most violent scenes for a 9-year-old.
And I'm wearing this
watch.
jacket right now.
Yep,
love it.
Yep, those of you who can see the video, he's wearing it. He's got the ED-209. And Robocop is on the back.
And by the way,
man,
it gets crazier. It's reversible.
Oh, geez. Oh, my goodness.
I'll show you. We'll end it with me revealing the back.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Remind me to reveal you the inside back. It's off the chain.
Yeah.
These guys
stuck with blue balls.
These guys, Middle of Beyond, they make a bunch of like fucking crazy cool movie clothing and video game clothing. Check them out.
Is the effects of ED-209, would you say they're a little outdated?
So here's the thing, is that that's like maybe the only thing that's outdated in a weird way. Like, the effects are bad. They're kind of that like 80s claymation, very much like the Ghostbusters dogs.
Yes. Yeah.
Like when they're moving, you're like, Lee. And then when they're sitting when they're sitting still, you're like, that's too still. But it did.
They don't overdo it.
If
I don't
I
think.
showed it to my 8-year-old, I don't think it would take him out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
now you're gonna traumatize him too.
I'm gonna pass the torch.
I mean, yeah.
And the violence, I was like, back to the satire thing. I'm like, oh, like they're overdoing the violence. And then I was like, or are they going, no, this is how violent it would be if a person got shot with this high caliber weapon, like point blank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is how violent criminals can be. They'll just blow your hand off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, well, and I love the, the whole scene with the ED-209 when they first introduced that, where it's the guy he ends up shooting is a guy who's all like gung-ho, like,
right.
Yeah, I'll help you, sir. I'll help you.
I'll help out. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's the one that just gets, I mean, the shooting doesn't stop. And it's
Bumps like 50 bullets into him.
Oh, and he's like exploding, like chunks of this guy are going flying. And then he goes flying on top of the model of the city. Do you think that's a metaphor? Come on.
Oh.
Like Paul Verhoeven is so fucking good because as soon as you see this kind of like bedlam breakout when they're showing off Ed 209 and what he's capable of, and he malfunctions and blows this dude away, he cuts to just a wide and he lets it play out, and there's no music, and it's like, is that thunder in LA? Cool. Sorry, I guess it started raining here. But he cuts to just this wide static shot of the room of everybody kind of like at a loss, one person shouting to like call 911. Like it gets very real.
Yeah, they're like, don't touch him.
Right. It's like
that's the tongue-in-cheek thing too, though. He totally is dead. Someone call a goddamn paramedic. It's like, yeah, that's
he's
there's nothing to do here. But then they also sort of seem like they're freaking out, but at the same time, they kind of know the room that they're in, which is all right. Well, if the CEO isn't, if he's not completely losing his mind, then I guess we just kind of brush it off because
that's the character development.
Yeah.
No, like that for real. That's using the lens to develop the character moment. They pulled out for us to go see how real this is. And then when they cut to them being like, sorry about the glitch, we just saw how real it was. And we're like, what? And the guy he flies off the handle at him. I mean, I think Paul knows what he's doing. And then of course they're in the elevator and they're like, life in the big city,
Yeah. Just brush it off,
And
yeah.
Miguel Ferrer he's so good at just being that fucking guy.
Yeah.
Yes. He's such a sleazeball, like just
slick, like tongue up his boss's butthole kind of guy.
Yep.
But like smart. You know what I mean? Like he's not he's got an intelligence about him, but also kind of a slick, do what it takes kind of like, and an arrogance, confidence. Like the acting in this movie is off the charts. Everybody's so good.
It's almost too good for this kind of movie. Like it's like, wait, why is it this good? Like, why? It shouldn't be this good. Almost, it seems. But
like
it's
Kurtwood
great.
Smith leading the bad guys.
I like it.
Breathtaking.
The older I get, the more I love him in this movie. Like it's just he's amazing. Like at first when I'm seeing it, like what's this dorky bald guy doing as the main villain? But now I'm just like, man, he works, man.
And he reps for bald guys. Guys watch that and they go, look, dude, we can be scary.
Yeah.
And he wears glasses.
Right. Yeah. It's like this guy. What?
It's crazy.
I just pick when the massacre happens with the robot. I just like what would just people go home to their wife and be like, yeah, my day was okay. Just another, someone got massacred in the board meeting again today. But
pass the potatoes.
But a guy, he said he has another idea for a Robocop. So we'll see how that pans out.
You know what? But Detroit was in a pinch, man. Whatever it takes. You know, that's
exactly.
Just, you don't want to see how the sausage gets made.
Yep.
And out of the butcher's shop? I don't know.
What's up, Dave?
You said something interesting about. You said something like, because Anders mentioned the good acting, and then you said something like
Anders.
For this type.
David, it's Anders. Let's just get that out of the way.
Inventing Anna. That's what it was. He was confused.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he was
Go.
confused. Finish
Mr.
your thought.
Holm.
I'm so sorry.
It's all good. That works too. I love that.
Mr. Holmes said the good acting. And you said this type of movie. Should I just turn off the video now or keep going?
Yeah,
Take off the shirt
Yeah,
and keep going.
This one is not reversible, by the way. You said for this type of movie, and it made me think, well, what is this type of movie? Because under the surface, you have, it's a brutal action film, right? But there's way more depth to this film. There's not really a lot of movies like this. And maybe it's just a Paul Verhoeven style that he intersperses all these ideas. Like if this was just this type of movie, we wouldn't even get like all the news stuff or the Star Wars program misfiring and killing 2 former presidents.
Right.
Like there's a lot to be said about this film. And also the stuff with the Robocop himself about it. It leaves you thinking about there's thoughts of what's human, what's not. Am I a cyborg? Trying to reclaim my humanity. There is a lot of surprising depth to this film,
right?
And so to say what this type of movie is, I really don't know. I just think it's fucking cool because it's unbelievable. It's very smart and it's very violent.
And how about a protagonist that's not even really driving it forward, right? Like the movie's driven forward by his memories and his trauma, and he's just trying to become the man he was. I mean, to describe the plot, we can describe the story. I think it can be a dozen different things.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're like a really good person to analyze movies, but like I was thinking last night, I'm like, I know he's the main guy, but we just sat in his coma for that montage, which by the way, as a child, I was like transfixed by him going in and out of consciousness.
Oh yeah.
And like waking up and getting like kissed by that woman during like the New Year's party.
Yeah. Yep. With the lipstick left on the lens.
I mean, and like the sound check, like target, and then like the repeating.
Yeah, it's like
there's this music to that just it's still to me is like fucking, it's just different. It's so good.
Well, and I love
that he's based on what you've seen previously that he's being, and you feel that he's being treated like a lab rat. You know his perspective there because you already understand the world he's in. There is no sympathy. There's no care. He, as they say, he is a product.
Right. And there's a line that Miguel Ferrer has where he's like, we've already been positioning candidates different places. And I didn't rewind because I didn't want to be a total nerd about this thing.
No.
But like, it sounds like it was a setup of some sorts where like maybe he wasn't experienced enough to be where he was. And by the way,
because they mentioned what a great precinct he came from or whatever, like at the beginning, and it's like
right,
and he kind of has the smile about it,
right, and he's like flipping his gun around, and it's like, how experienced is this guy? Like he's cool and fun, and he's like a family man, but like, and then his partner. Like, how cool is it that usually in a movie from the 80s, when you're like, oh shit, there's a badass cop, and then they whip their helmet off and they like swirl their hair around, you're like, and it's a woman.
Yeah.
This one, she takes the helmet off and she's got short hair, and you're like, it's a woman. Like,
right, yeah.
But she's not glamorous. She's not being our idea of a woman that's a badass. She's being a badass that's a woman.
Right.
And I know that maybe doesn't make any sense, but it does.
No, it does. Yeah, especially
fully intentional.
The 80s, yeah. I mean, because they threw token boobs in the movie, here and there for 80s, but yeah, they don't have the token
the locker room.
Yeah, exactly. Like it wasn't like
I like how they're all everyone, male, female. They're all
they're just
in the locker room.
Just changing together.
Aren't we on the way there? Don't you feel that way? Like we are. We are. Trust me.
Well, we'll see when you take your coat off and show us the reverse.
I'll show you what I got.
I think that is a good point though, because this is before the current like girl boss era where she does. Yeah, she exists as her own person. Yeah, and it's not about anything other than her being a kick-ass
like
human being.
She's like, I drive, and he's like, no, I drive, right? And then you're like, okay, like he's got the upper hand. Okay, traditional guy. Thank God he's driving. And then when she hits the fan, she's like, I'm driving. You're not. and you go, oh, they're on the same level. They're worthy.
Yeah, he doesn't get in a huff about it. He's just like, oh, okay, you're driving. Well, here we go. He just kind of smiles at, laughs it off, and here we go. We're after these guys, after Kurtwood Smith and his gang.
He's the guy who's like, should we wait for backup? And she's like, no, let's go in there.
Yeah,
which is two things. She's the badass, and she has to sit with the guilt about getting her partner blown away.
Yep, exactly. And that's the, oh my goodness, that scene when they
so good.
I love the hockey helmet, cop helmets. Those were fantastic. Fantastic choice for this film.
The dude who plays Joe, the bad guy, the black dude in the group of bad guys with his cackle, his haunting laugh.
Yes,
it's so good.
That was a slick move, right? He's in mid P. He's like, all right, here's my chance. I'm gonna leave it out, turn around, and we'll just wait till she's gonna steal a glance eventually.
What's cool is if I did that, the movie would have been 12 minutes long. It would have ended. She's like, I'm not looking down. There's nothing to see. Robocop would have never been roboed.
She had to take, I actually have that in my notes here. She had to look. But I mean,
because she must have just been like, I'm looking at his eyes. I'm looking at his eyes, but I can, in my peripherals, I'm seeing something.
Yeah, it's like
there's no way that's
snake.
Real.
Yeah, what is
I don't know.
It seems like it's almost hitting the floor, so I just got to make sure my eyes aren't deceiving me.
He delivers his lines perfectly every time. He must have been having the most fun. Ray Wise as one of those bad guys is so good.
Yeah.
The guy who blows up the gas station.
I
recognize from a seminal X-Files episode. I don't know his name, but
Emil
he was in 24 for a season as well.
Yeah,
Emil is his character's name.
Yes, Emil. He kills it. You college boy. When he shakes down the college boy, I'm like, this dude's psycho.
Yeah. Well, then that brought when we were talking about the effects and stuff, like the practical effects, like when he gets burnt or whatever, and his hands are his skin is dripping off his hands, and it's just oh my god,
acid, right?
Look,
we got more reveal.
Oh my goodness, is that a T-shirt too? With oh my goodness, look at this.
When are we gonna see the boxers?
Oh, because I brought it up.
Oh my god.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Hey,
I'm wearing this jacket to Disneyland.
Please do. Oh my goodness, kids are gonna have nightmares.
How good is that?
It's brilliant. I love that's what they chose for. Well, yeah, I mean that's another beautiful piece you got there. But yeah, that's an interesting choice that they chose for the back of that jacket. But I love it. So.
But it's an if you know you know. The whole company they do basically if you know you know pieces, and you're like, I got my brother a Total Recall jacket that's fucking sick.
What is it?
I mean, I think the front, it just like this one says Total Recall, and then the back is the lady's mask head going off of Arnold's. Then the other one is Quado, fully coming out of the stomach on the back. And then the two ones on the front are the dude Cohagen, who's not giving people air when his eyes are shooting out of his head and the tongue is It's so good. Anyway.
Oh man, Verhoeven really likes to do disgust. He wants to make you. He would do things to the human body to make you feel nauseous.
I love the how we were saying there's just despicable characters in this. Kurtwood Smith, man, when the one dude gets shot when they're doing the car chase, he's like, "Oh, you're no good to me now. Can you fly, Bobby?"
So quotable, so quotable.
And it was he just use you as a weapon now. So
when he dips his fingers in the Coke manufacturer's wine and then just goes.
Yes.
Who's doing that?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's so many little things he does.
I know.
Right after.
Which I think was a move to be like, you think that bothers me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the
Was
whole.
he snorting coke throughout the movie? Was that what he was doing? Because he
was
was
doing
sniffing
something, a future drug. It was like a future drug.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like spice or something.
Yeah, spice.
Yeah, that's what they call it. How about the commercials they throw in here? Like they had the Nukem board game. That,
which is a total comment. It's like Battleship.
Right. Yeah.
Battleship is about sinking hundreds, if not thousands, of Navy soldiers to their deaths.
Yep.
And so Nukem is no different.
Exactly. It actually seems like a really fun game. And
whatever that TV show they were watching, I'll buy that for $1. Everyone finds it completely hilarious.
And guess what? It is.
It is.
Yeah.
How about I take the both of you?
When
what is this show exactly?
That's Anders, you probably don't remember, but in Workaholics, that 80s episode I was talking about, when they're saying answers and answers, like you're just showing everyone's answers. One of the answers was, I'll buy that for
$1.
Yeah.
I think I did write out, there's a montage of me answering questions right.
Yeah.
And I did write that montage out.
Yeah.
And it was me going, okay, what is the question? That was fun. And me reading that in front of the dudes, they were like, okay. It's like when I write swim jokes, they go, all right, and that's funny. Okay, cool. Great. And what's a flip turn? Forget it. We don't care.
Yeah. If it makes sense to you, you don't go with it. Go with it. Yeah. But yeah, I just love it's so weird for a movie to do that, like add the commercials and then do the news. It's just like, it seems out of place, but it just, for this movie, it just works.
Yeah. And Lisa Gibbons from Entertainment Tonight as one of the correspondents. Like again, as a kid, that's like, you see her on the kitchen TV. And now she's in Robocop, and you're like, what the fuck? It's like when they had the real Chicago newscasters in The Fugitive. You're like, Mom, is this real? Like, it fucks you up.
The Fugitive, that's another movie.
For someone to pick that movie.
I know, yeah.
I was like, Fugitive's good. But
that movie never gets old for me.
That how do we feel about the 209's weakness being stairs?
Perfect.
Makes sense.
It shows you that it shows you how much they rushed this thing to production, right? It shows you how stupid people are who just want to make money and like solve a problem. To me, that is why that was the thing. It had to be something that dumb, like an oversight by a company that was put in charge of the safety of a city.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Or thought that they were better than humans. It's like, it can't go downstairs. So it was enough for me. And the cute little hoof trying to like figure it out, like,
yep.
And then when it fell, it was like a crying baby.
Well, it was like, I thought it sounded like a dinosaur or something. Like some of the noises it was making was very.
Because they gave it a growl from the beginning just to make it more intimidating, which works.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, yeah, do what you got to do to make it more intimidating.
But real quick, just back to Kurtwood Smith and the amount of spitting that he did with like the blood in it.
Right. Oh yeah.
He spits on Robocop's face. Then when he gets brought in and booked, he just spits on the table, and you're like, this guy's the fucking worst.
Seriously. Yeah.
And then he takes out his gum and puts it on the assistant's placard that has like her name. Which, by the way, movie factoid, that's his wife, or at least it was.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I did not know that. There we go. Dropping knowledge.
I saw that last night when I was Googling.
That's
that. And he didn't even care what the reaction was going to be for that. He's like, I'll come over. We'll hang out later. You don't like it? Whatever. There's just like there's this attitude that everybody has, this like complete disregard for anyone else. Like even because I was thinking like the boss guy, the guy that I forget his name,
Kurtwood
vice
Smith.
president.
The Jones.
Yeah, he knew. He kind of was anticipating
Dick Jones.
Dick Jones. Yeah, yeah, because we got a line. Whatever, sure thing, Dick. When they were in the bathroom, and he kind of knew RoboCop was going to find him, and he had a plan because they had parameter number
Directive 4,
yeah. And then he brings in the robot. Like, he doesn't even care if the if the robot destroys his entire building. It's just whatever.
He's a G. That's probably his fifth building.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I got more down the street.
And watching it back, you see they set up Directive 4 like right from the jump, where it's like Directive 1, 2, and 3, and then Directive 4 classified. So like, obviously, if you're watching for the first time, you're not clocking that unless you're a true weirdo.
Yeah. It's essentially to make it so he won't kill a employee of OCP, and that's when he gets that, he basically shuts down when he tries to get him, because we do have that whole double cross with that Dick Jones does and all that. He kills or has Kurtwood Smith kill
the best scene.
Morton. Yeah, it's
the best scene. What does he say? Hookers leave or whatever.
No, he says
bitches.
Yes, bitches leave. It's like whoa.
I left the room.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
I left the room and I came back. I was like, it's just a TV show.
She's like, call me too as the other one's leaving.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be calling you.
Yeah, not so much.
Shot in the kneecaps.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, and so real.
And why leave that sort of evidence? Like, why not just have him killed? Like, you have to have a explanation tape to show what you're doing.
You have to.
I guess it's the 80s.
It's a movie.
Oh, it's a movie. Okay. It's the typical 80s, villain monologue. This is my plan.
I love the effect of putting him up on the screens and having him talk to him and taunt him. I think it's fantastic.
It's a flex. He's like, I'm cashing you out. He's like, I'm not even there, but I have to, I have to tell you this. You're being cashed out, you little slimy bitch.
FaceTime me when you're there. FaceTime me when you're there. By the way,
Kurtwood Smith, again, how does he pull the ring out of the grenade?
Yeah.
Like a disgusting reptile.
He
tongues it and then bites it.
Tongue and bite. The old tongue and bite. Love the old tongue and bite. Seeing him
later on that 70s show, I was like, I don't understand.
Well, yeah, because I had watched this movie, and then, it was that 70s show came out and stuff, and then going back to this movie, it's like, whoa, Red Foreman, you are a terrible human.
The worst guy.
But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think what
they check the toxic waste. They check the toxic waste box of the 80s. Toxic waste was a big thing in that era.
Yep.
When he crashes his car, that's what makes him all soupy. And when they drive through him and he explodes.
Oh, yep. And doesn't he turn on the windshield wipers? I think he turns on the windshield wipers, maybe.
My God.
Get your guts out of here.
Just being held together by like plastic wrap.
It's so good.
And such a satisfying way to kill Kurtwood Smith with his knife that we initially,
exactly. It's a tool of many uses.
Yes.
But like also the plot, when you go into like a Marvel movie, sometimes you're like, Jesus, does it have to be so complicated and like convoluted and like, why are there so many moving pieces?
Yeah.
This has those, and yet it's seamless.
Right.
It doesn't seem like you're doing homework about who stands where and why people are doing X. It's very straightforward. You follow it. You know what everyone's intentions and ambitions are, with the exception of Robocop.
Well, that's because they make those movies 2 hours and 50 minutes, whereas this movie's an hour and 50 minutes. Like, it's like you can condense this, you can bring these stories down. Just put it in the deleted scenes if you like it that much.
But I do agree with Mr. Holm that the Robocop character himself is not developed. I guess he's just a device to like fight against this.
He's Forrest Gump. He's Forrest Gump. He's he's the mirror to the society.
Yeah,
he's
events. Yeah.
If you're not careful, you could become what I am, lose your humanity, and then you might not get it back until the very end, where they go, "What's your name?" and he says Murphy, and you're like, "He's back."
Yeah.
And then it just slams. It's because that's when the movie is over. It's not over because he saved the day. It's over when he recognizes I'm that guy.
Yep. And I love that the movie just ends. I love that too.
There's nowhere to go. There's no like you don't do anything after the story.
They don't do the typical. He went on to save many more people. This person was fired for.
He tracked down his wife and kid and found out she married
and like
Peter
Weller, underrated.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
He's like a historian in real life too.
Yeah, he's like an artist. He lived in Italy for a while. I know that. But like a true weird, cool guy where you're like, you were an actor. You were super handsome. In the opening, he's got like the fucking sickest style of the future.
Yeah.
And
could have swore he did some
do like
voice
the
acting.
breakdance moves and all, basically what he's doing.
Yep.
What a nightmare to be that, to take that part and then to have it be like the coolest thing, or maybe not coolest, but like besides Buckaroo Banzai, like the most iconic thing you've done.
Right.
You know, he's not walking around doing that shit for people. He has segued.
Because he was in a lot of stuff, but I wonder if this movie, because I remember him in Dexter, he was in 24, he's been in a bunch of shit. Yeah. But I do wonder to the extent that he was just never imagined to be a leading man after this because he just played a breakdancing robot.
Yeah, it's tough. People didn't get to see his range, most likely. You know what I mean? And like, I'm sure the paydays were sick, and they were like, "All right, you're gonna keep doing that." He's like, "They're paying me $5 million. I gotta do it."
I kind of have to do this. But yeah, it's just So
we should all be so blessed. By the way, like, I'm not throwing heat at this dude at all.
Right?
Like,
yeah.
No,
I'm talking about his movie that has made me who I am in many ways. I love violence in movies. I don't know if you guys saw Game Over, man, but like I wrote that with so much of the DNA of Robocop is in
I could see Robocop undertones in that. That was, I could see where you got,
Daniel Stern.
Inspiration.
I'm like, be as creepy and shitty as possible. And he goes, you got it. You guys, whatever you guys want, I'm doing it.
Did that come about because you guys had him in Workaholics?
Yeah. He was on Workaholics.
It's all about who you know. It's crazy how that works.
He's the best guy.
Yeah.
And he is fucking down. And he was right. He was like, you guys know it's not going to get better than this. Like, this is it. You're making a show with your friends. You're writing whatever you want. And it's here in LA. Like,
and you've never asked him about Home Alone ever, I'm sure.
Well, so here's the deal.
That's funny. Another Macaulay Culkin. Connection.
I'm so close to meeting him someday. My first ever I didn't even step into the business. I was a background actor in Rookie of the Year because they filmed it at my middle school. Okay.
What?
Right. So Daniel Stern directed and acted in that movie. Then my drama teacher recommended me to be in this scene that they were going to film in at Wrigley Field. And I say gonna film because I sat there in like a bathroom holding area where the heat was on for 4 days, and they never filmed the scene I was supposed to be in. And so then when he got to
you could have made it.
I was like, dude, man, you fucking cut this scene that I was going to do. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but we're here now. Let's have a good time.
Yep. Thanks for hiring me now.
That dude, he is, talk about a guy with a track record of just hits.
Yeah.
Breaking Away, City Slickers,
Years.
Home Alone, Wonder Years, like Hannah and her Sisters, Workaholics, obviously. the dude co-wrote Chud, uncredited, I guess. Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers. Diner? Like,
oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. Diner, man. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. You don't realize until sometimes you just don't realize it, and then you look at their filmography and you're like, wow, they were in a lot of shit.
He's got the touch.
He's
got the power.
And then one more thing I wanted to say. I love at the end when he is shooting the shit out of Dick Jones, and the black guy's just sitting back smiling like it's just like they just keep going back to him just smiling. He's like,
are you ready for this? This is worlds colliding. This is how I know RoboCop is my shit. And I talk about this. I talked about this the other day. I was filming a movie, and they're like, who you met that like blew your mind, you know, and they're talking about like very famous people. And the people who blow my mind are these couple line bit part actors from movies that I grew up on. And that dude, the black dude who worked with Miguel Ferrer's character, my wife went to grad school at UCLA in the African Studies department, which is like a dozen people. Yeah. And I go to like a function because I'm like the boyfriend, now husband, but boyfriend at the time. And I'm like, yeah, like let's mix it up. Your grad school, I'll meet all your like your fellows. And lo and behold, he's there. And I turn around, I'm like, what is he doing here? He's like, oh, that guy, him? Like, says his name. I'm not gonna blow up his spot, whatever it is.
Like he shouldn't be there, right? Like he has no right to, or it's just like shut.
Well, so I'm like, why is he outside of the movie from my childhood? Yeah, right?
He only exists within the film. Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen him in anything else? It's not like he's a bit part guy that you're like, oh yeah, he was in a bunch of things like Emmett Walsh or something, right? This is a guy who you saw in Robocop and then you didn't see again until you went to a function of your wife's grad school, whatever.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even go up to him. I was shook.
Jesse Goins, is that his name?
No.
Is that who it is? No.
Well, I think he might have changed his name. It might be listed as something different.
Okay.
I think he's changed his name. But
it says his name was Joe in RoboCop. This guy.
No, Joe was the bad guy.
I racial profiled guys. I'm sorry.
Man, this happens all the time.
I know.
Really?
Canceled. Huh?
I got to talk to my PR. Hey, so I did the racial profile one again.
They did it again.
What are we doing?
How do I keep getting on this?
But
we don't need to get to his name. The point is,
yes, that's full circle. Yeah,
that
just
guy,
kind of. Okay.
And he's like, tastes like baby food. Like he kills it. Right? He's got so many good lines in the movie.
Oh man!
And he disappeared from my narrative, from my personal path, and then just came in my life in real life outside of the movie business, and it fucking freaked me out.
I'm sure.
Didn't freak out the guy that saw you at the gas station earlier tonight.
What? No, that's just somebody who's trying to sell me drugs. No, this dude.
You picked up your parents from the airport. Why are you on a podcast right now?
What do you mean?
Yeah, why are you hanging out with your
parents?
Family?
Where do they live in LA too already?
This is work. I gotta. Hey, Inventing Anna. It's on Netflix. It's the greatest show you've ever seen. You got to check it out. I'm super funny in it. I played the investigative journalist's husband.
Yep. Very good. Yeah. Can't wait to check it out. Any final thoughts on RoboCop, my friend?
Yeah. The music. The music is unbelievable. It's so good. It's charged. It's sweet. It's ominous. It's haunting. When he goes into his old house and starts having these flashbacks of his family and life there, and the music and how it plays, you feel so bad for this guy. And then you realize he's got a gun the size of a bazooka that goes into his thigh, and he's about to go do some damage.
Yes.
But the music is awesome. And there's like that little twinkle cue that they play every once in a while when someone has like a memory from before to his future. Like the music's unbelievable. I can't remember who did it because
it's Basil Polidorus.
Basil?
Yeah,
sure.
Let's go Basil, yeah.
But anyway, like
but that is who it is.
The music, I mean, would you guys disagree? Like
No, not at all. Yeah, the music is I mean
strong.
It's 80s, but it's like good 80s. Like it
builds tension.
Holds up. No, I 100% agree there. It's beautiful. He was in the music department for Conan the Barbarian. So
that makes sense. That makes sense. And what about Total Recall? Did he also?
Doesn't look like it. What year was that?
91.
Was it 91? No, he was not. He did not do Total Recall.
Hang on, I gotta double check if Total Recall is 91.
What
year did Total Recall come out?
90.
Fuck.
Yeah, you're just. I mean, come on,
idiot. So freaking so close.
I guess.
Do you want to just like re-record this episode? We can just start over and.
I don't know. Do you have another racial profile in the chamber for us?
Oh, we've got plenty.
You're not supposed to say that, but
Yeah,
Jerry Goldsmith did Total Recall.
Oh,
Jerry
sure.
Goldsmith,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, he's
So
got
come
that.
on.
Goals straight scores.
But the music. Yeah, I 100% agree.
It elevates the movie from
Yes.
being like a hokey satire, kind of like what he did with Battlestar. What was his second the movie he did later with like Doogie Howser, not Doogie,
The
Neil
Secret
Patrick
Garden.
Harris. No. It was like with
The movie who did the composer?
Starship
or-
Troopers.
Starship Troopers. Thank
Oh.
you. Which was like fully
Battlestar Galactica. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm way off. Those words are all interchangeable.
It's actually Starship
Okay,
Troopers.
it's like rugby and Australian football. If you can point the difference between those two out, besides the cool hats and the guys who go like this, I'll give you a free season's pass to Inventing Anna on Netflix. But yeah,
and the guns, by the way, the guns they use at the end where that Kurtwood Smith destroys the guy's
those.
car. That he's like, I got a car just like you, man.
Oh my
And
god,
he just destroys it. Those guns are amazing. The sound design and everything of those, like it was just
the 2000 SUX, like
yeah. So
great.
Sucks.
you have two shirts on of RoboCop. Why wouldn't you know the name? I love it.
I love it. The
it.
councilman's when that whole like hostage scene. He's like, I want a gas guzzle. I wanted to just destroy
Yeah.
the environment.
He says everything that I think we know somebody else would probably say that is it was in a very high office recently. Like
Yeah. It
He
has
demands-
shitty gas mileage.
The worst.
we're not far off. We are
I know,
not far
man.
off.
Not far off. But yeah, RoboCop. So glad you picked it. So glad you came on to indulge us, and I'm glad you watched it. You did your homework beforehand, so we
It's a
always
pleasure to
appreciate
watch
that.
it. I try and watch it every year. I know all my favorite movies are stuck back in like the 80s and 90s, but like
That's
this
where
one, they
cinema
tried to
was.
remake it, and guess what? It didn't work. But yeah, thanks to you guys for watching it. So I wasn't just going, okay, so no, he was alive.
Yeah.
But now
We
he's
should've
kind of
tried that.
alive.
This could be
Yeah,
the
I
next
know.
thing. We
Yeah,
let the
next time we
guests-
have someone on, just say, okay, and then what happened? All right.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And then who? Okay, so that guy was this guy. Okay.
Is RoboCop one word?
yeah.
Yeah.
Where you're on social medias and stuff? Do they just look for Anders Holm?
Yeah, look for the actual me, not somebody who's gonna like try and extort you for Venmo information.
Or do that.
Durs 808, that's me. And then listen to me and the Dudes podcast. This is important. Wherever you get your podcasts. And Inventing Anna. It's blasting off right now. It's a fun show. All your favorite actors are in it, and that's not an exaggeration.
Excellent.
Love it. Thanks so much for
watch Inventing Anna.
Anna.
It's Anders and Anna.
Oh,
That's what- idiot.
Anders Holm on Inventing Anna.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, my man.
Thank you guys, and be safe out there.
Well, there you have it, folks. Anders Holm. Be sure to check out Inventing Anna on Netflix. It is out. Be sure to check it out. Again, his podcast, This Is Important, with the other Workaholics alum. And yeah, great talk. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Blockbuster Mentality, Twitter at BlockbusterCast. Go to our website, blockbustermentality.com. All three of those things, all three of those sites, whatever you want to call them, is where you'll get all the updates on the show when new episodes come out and all that jazz. But all right, folks, well, that is it for me. For Dave and Anders, I'm Ben, and as always, grab some popcorn, grab some snacks. We'll catch you guys at the movies.